Hi everybody, welcome back to my channel. So today I have a new makeup tutorial for you, and this makeup tutorial is part of the work that I've been doing with Rimmel for their Rimmel road trip, which is a 6-part series featuring 12 bloggers, and they're all paired up, and one blogger goes to another blogger's hometown. They show them around, create makeup looks, drive a really cool Mini. It's really fun. So I was in episode 5 of 6, which is the Brighton episode. So they brought Alex from I Covet Thee down to Brighton and I showed her around. We created 2 makeup looks each for the videos. My daytime one was natural bronze, which is the makeup look that you kind of know me for, very bronzy, liquid liner, all of that jazz. This one is like smudgy kohl liner and a pop of coral colour on the lips. I love this look. It's very soft and smudgy and smoky, and it's really pretty. So I'm really excited to get on with that today, and all of the Rimmel products that I use in this video will be on the Live the London Looks site, and I will link that in the info box below. So to start off, I'm going to be mixing 2 products. The first one is the Rimmel Good to Glow highlighter, and then the other one is the Rimmel Insta Flawless Perfecting Radiant Skin Tint. The Good to Glow highlighter is a little bit icy for me, so I like to add the Insta Flawless Skin Tint in medium dark to it just to warm it up a little bit. So I'm just mixing that together on the back of my hand, and this is just going to create a really nice base for my foundation to go over the top of. And I really like using liquid highlighter under my foundation if I want a little bit of extra glow, and I'm going to be using the Rimmel Match Perfection foundation today, which doesn't have as much glow as like the Wake Me Up foundation, but Match Perfection is my favourite. So if I want a little bit of glow to it, I literally just add highlighter underneath. Insta Flawless also smells incredible as well, so I love using that on my skin just for the fact that it smells so good. It's got a really clean smell to it, like it smells like clean washing. Does that sound really strange? It's just the nicest smell. It's really fresh and lovely. It makes my skin look nice and glowy as well. I like the mixture of those two. So as I was saying earlier, I'm going to be using the Rimmel Match Perfection foundation today. I think I'm the shade 200. I'll confirm in the info box for you guys. And I'm just popping that onto my favourite foundation brush, which is the Sephora Airbrush foundation brush, number 55. And hopefully you can see, I've come in quite close on my camera today, the coverage of this foundation is really good. I'd say it's like a nice solid medium coverage, and it just covers most of my scarring and pigmentation apart from the really bad ones, and then I just use concealer, but it's just like a nice solid medium coverage. It's also not too dewy and not too matte either. It's a really nice natural finish. Next, I'm going to be correcting under my eyes using the YSL Touche Éclat Neutralizer, and it's really good for dark circles. Mine aren't too bad at the moment. Just pop a little bit of that under my eyes and blend it in, and it makes the concealers work so much easier. But now that all the correcting's done, I'm going to be concealing underneath my eyes and then on any old scarring from old spots with the Rimmel Match Perfection concealer in the shade 40 Soft Beige. And I really like this concealer. It's again like a nice medium buildable coverage, and it's one of those shades that's really good for underneath your eyes, but it's also good for blemishes and spots and things like that. It's a good multitasking concealer, and it lasts for quite a long time with me. So that is my concealer done. I didn't use too much because honestly for a night out in Brighton, things are so very chilled. If anyone's ever come to Brighton for a night out, you'll know it's not like super dressy. So I didn't go too heavy on my base or anything. I just wanted something natural but that had a good coverage as well. And on the Rimmel road trip shoot, I actually got to use something that was new from Rimmel. I really like this product. It's the Insta Duo Contour Stick, and I have the dark shade because for nights out I quite like quite a strong dark contour, I'm not gonna lie. So this is what it looks like. It's double-ended. I really like this. It's really easy to blend, but it lasts very well at the same time. It's not too creamy to the point where it just slides off your face. So I think this is a good cream option for summer. If you don't like using creams and you feel like in the summer they just slip around, I think this is a very good option, and the highlight on these is really beautiful as well. The medium stick shade has this like pinky highlight as well, and that is gorgeous. So to apply this, I literally just swipe the stick down the contours of my face, like where I see the hollow of my cheekbone, that's where I put it. I pop it there, and then I do pop little bits like around the side of my face, at the top of my forehead, basically all the way around, and then I do a little stripe down my nose as well and on the tip of my nose, and I think this always makes you look like Bambi, and I think that's really cute. And then to blend out that contour, I'm using a Morphe M439 brush, and these are really nice dense brushes which are great for blending out cream products. And then blend that up through my temples and my forehead. I always make sure to blend into the hairline. And the nice thing about the Duo Contour Stick is that it's warm but not too warm, but warm enough that it looks really nice on your skin. It's not like a really muddy, cool toned contour that you definitely have to bronze over. Like, you wouldn't have to bronze over the top of this if you didn't want to. And then I just take the excess that's on my brush and I run that under my chin and then down my neck a tiny bit. But I don't worry too much about my neck because I did use a little bit of bronzer as well and I put that on my neck. And then for my nose contour, I just took any old fluffy brush. This is a Real Techniques contour brush and I just used that to blend it out. And then I also used the Duo contour stick to highlight. So I just swipe that over the tops of my cheekbones. I've started taking my highlight a little bit further down my face now, so to around here. And then when I blend it out, I find that it looks really nice on my face shape. So I've been doing that a lot recently. And then I'm just blending that out using a stippling brush, but you can use your fingers if you want. It really doesn't move about too much if you use your fingers, so I'd say that's okay. You can use anything you like, really. It's one of those really easy products. It's not hard to apply at all. It's very fuss-free. Next up, bronzer, because I can't go without it. It just adds a little bit more dimension and warmth to my face, but also my face currently doesn't match my chest, so this is an essential. So I'm just gonna be using an EcoTools defining brush to blend that in. And as always, cheekbones, temples, forehead, nose, neck, you know the drill. So that's bronzer done. Just in case I didn't say, this is the Rimmel London Natural Bronzer and I really like this one. It's really warm toned and I really love that in the summer. I also think it works really nicely with my skin tone. I've got a slightly more olive skin tone and it just works really nicely. It doesn't look too warm. It's just that perfect, like, I've got a tan look. So for powder, I'm going to be using the Charlotte Tilbury Airbrush Flawless Finish powder. I can't say the name of this. I say airbrush. Airbrush? No. Airbrush. This is what it looks like. I have the shade medium and I just like to use this on the center of my cheek and then underneath my eye mainly. And this really does give a nice flawless finish to your skin. And it also mattes your face down just a tiny bit, but not too much. It doesn't ever look powdery or too matte. It just looks really nice and natural, but flawless at the same time. It really does have a perfecting finish to it. This is really good as well if you've been using cream products and you just want to set them. So sometimes I use this over the top of cream bronzers and blushes just to make sure that they don't budge. So before I move on to my eyes, I'm going to just quickly do my brows. I'm going to be using the Brow This Way Fiber Pencil by Rimmel. This is a new product and actually when you get super close to it, I don't know if it'll ever show on my camera because it's so tiny, but it has tiny little hairs on the end of the brush. And this is a great eyebrow pencil for if you want to have a little bit more of a fluffy look to your brows, because I find that this really does help my brows to look fuller and fluffier, but you also want to define them as well. It's like a nice hybrid between a fiber gel, which adds fibers to your brows, and, you know, a traditional pencil. So I use the darkest shade of this, which is really nice and ashy toned. It's perfect for my brow colour. And I don't have to use too much at all, press too hard, because obviously my brows are not too dark. But this, when used lightly, is the perfect brow shade for me. And the interesting thing about this pencil is that you really can see the product cling to your brows. I find this works incredibly well for the front of my brows. It really does fill them in, but they still look so natural. I'm probably gonna go so overboard and you're gonna be like, that doesn't look natural, Suze. And then I'm just gonna use a spoolie brush just to comb them into place. So finally, moving on to eyes, I'm going to be using the Rimmel Magnifies eyeshadow stick. I didn't really use the lighter part of this too much, which might be really surprising because normally I'm all about light eyeshadows, but I actually used the bronzy brown end of the eyeshadow and this works beautifully just blended all over the eyelid. So I'm just going to use a tiny bit of the lighter colour on the centre of my eyelid in the inner corner. And these eyeshadow sticks are really nice because you can just blend them out with your fingers. It's really no fuss. Once that's blended in, I added the bronzy side of the eyeshadow stick to the kind of center and outer corner of my eye. It looks really messy, but we're gonna blend it out and it's gonna look great. And I blended that out using a Real Techniques Deluxe Crease Brush. This brush is amazing for cream eyeshadows and eyeshadow sticks. It blends out so well. So I use that first layer to cover basically my whole eye, and then I build the rest up in the outer corner. And then I also run a little bit of that underneath my waterline as well, and just pop a tiny weeny bit on my waterline. And then again, I'm just blending that out using the same brush. So that is pretty much it. Now I'm gonna do exactly the same on the other side. Now that my eyeshadow's done, I'm just adding some of the Dior Pump and Volume mascara to my lashes. I am having a very, very good lash day today. I'm pretty happy with them. I'm just gonna sit here like this. So before I apply my lipstick, I'm going to use the lip liner. This is the MAC Lasting Sensation lip liner, and it's a really cute coral colour. And what I did on the road trip was I applied my lip liner and then I just smudged it out because I didn't want this bold lip to look too harsh. I feel like because the eye look is so soft and smudgy, the lips should also mimic that. It also then stops your lipstick from looking too harsh if you go for a bold lip as well. You can always tell when I've done a smudgy makeup look by the state of the back of my hand. Look at that. All of the smudging happened today. So at the moment we have a very soft corally colour going on the lips, which would be really nice for a daytime look. But because this was an evening look, I went for something a little bit more dramatic. So I used the Rimmel The Only One lipstick in the shade Cheeky Coral, which is so beautiful. It's very creamy and it's just such a lovely texture. So I just dabbed this into my lips. I didn't do a full-on swipe of this onto my lips because I just wanted it to be really soft. So I'm dabbing the lipstick onto my lips again after smudging it out. I basically built up the colour and just made it all like soft by smudging it out, and then kind of did the same thing again and again until I had enough colour but it didn't look too harsh. So this is the makeup look almost done. However, there are a few final finishing touches I want to do before I consider this look like done. So one of the things that I'm going to do is just conceal around my eyes again, just to make sure there isn't any eyeshadow that's come like a little bit too far down and is making me look a bit like tired. I want to keep things looking really bright. I'm also just using the concealer around the edges of my lips just to make sure that that soft, smudgy, smoky look hasn't gone a bit too far. And then finally, I'm going to be using the Rimmel Pink Rose blush. You guys will know that I'm a long time fan of the Rimmel Santa Rose blush. And when I was on the shoot, I fell in love with this. It's just a tiny bit darker, which just makes it a little bit easier for me to apply to my skin tone, because I did find with Rimmel Santa Rose, I had to build it up quite a bit. This one is a lot easier for me to just pop on my cheekbones, and it's a little bit darker as well, so it works for like an evening blush look. So I'm just taking my NARS Yachiyo Kabuki brush and then dotting that onto not the apples of my cheeks, I'd say the outer part of my cheeks. At the moment I am a huge fan of blush. I think it helps to really tie a whole look together. I never used to like it. I literally have makeup everywhere. How have I done this? There's lipstick on my leg. So this is my finished Coral Pop look from the Rimmel road trip shoot. I really hope you guys have enjoyed watching me recreate this. If you guys do decide to recreate this look, I would love it if you could tag me on Twitter and on Instagram, and you can use the Rimmel road trip hashtag and I'll see it on there as well. I hope you guys have enjoyed seeing something a tiny bit different. I don't normally do pinky coloured lips and bronzy eyes, so I hope you guys have enjoyed seeing something different. Let me know if there are any other makeup looks you would like to see in the comments below. But that is it from me. I hope you guys are all having the best day, and I will see you guys again in my next video. Bye.